You start with FANA. You start about abandoning yourself to Him. You start from the other end. Total surrender to Him. And then from there you come back here. Everything else disappears but Him. And from there, from love of Him, then you start looking at the world in reverse. He is the only thing that matters to me. That's my knowledge. That's everything I have. Everything else is questionable. And then you learn La ilaha illallah, and then you learn Muhammadar Rasululllah, and Hasbunallah wa wani'mal wakil, and la hawlawala, quwata, and riba is haram. And these things you learn with certainty. With certainty that I don't have about certainty about it. Certainly, no certainty. But with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, 100%. So coming back from there, from love of Him, the world looks different. Because if riba is haram, look how different it is, the world. It's completely different. It looks totally different. And you have acquired knowledge, but still, be careful, it's not only in your head. That many who you will go to and you say, do you think riba is haram? They say yes. What have you done about it? Nothing. Then you haven't understand what it means. I haven't understood it at all. No, because people will say, no, but I'm not going to do it now, I'm going to do it later. Or I'm not capable of, or doesn't belong to my sphere of things, or whatever. Incredible. You know, I've been proud, but I would not do anything yet. Incredible. It's because they understand the concept of it, but they have not understood the tawheed in it, in which it's not only the creatures out there. It's not the world created. This is under the rububiyyah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The static, the very existence of things. But we isolate ourselves from that order. My Shaykh used to say, the people understand Allah has created the world, but they have difficulties in understanding He is also the creator of our actions. This is why most people have difficulty. If they see themselves as being independent, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't have a rububiyyah over your actions. Now the meaning of this is, the people think that Allah has intervened somehow, and then here we are walking in this world of His with our free will, as if we were independent. But He knows our actions before and after they happen. You see, we are what we do. We are not what we think we are. So the person who thinks, usually doesn't affect me because I understand that the riba is haram, is a fool. You are what you do. If you practice riba, you are a person of riba. If you want to get rid of riba, you have to change the way you act. Now, the way you act, this is where the wisdom is manifested. The things that you can do and the things that you cannot do. And this is all not determined by reason. Reason, the cultural reason and the historical reason, the time that you are living in, will give you the mold in which to act. But if you want to change it or you want to lead it, if you want to understand it, you need the heart. To understand that you can do and what you cannot do. You don't have to look into your head. You have to look into your heart. When we want to bring when you confront this to people, they say, oh yeah, that is great. Yeah, it's a robbery. But we can do nothing because we don't have the coins. We don't have dinar and dirham. And then we say to them, well, make them. They say, yeah, we can make the coins, but we don't have any shops where to use it. We said, make the shops. They, yeah, but we have the shops, but the shops cannot deal with each other because they don't have a proper way of getting supplies. Get the supplies. Yeah, but they don't have it. You know, if they had a bank at least, but they don't have a bank, we will need a wadiya, but we don't have any, so we can do nothing. Make a wadiya. And so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. So imagine if the heart is an instrument that can transform your problems into solutions. That can transform the things that stop you into the things that move you forward. That's like Superman. It is much more powerful than flying in the air. And that's the power of the heart. You see, and what stops you from doing things? Fear. Fear of what? Fear of, my goodness, everybody has a different one. Some people fear the mother, some people fear the government, some people fear death, or food, starving, all sorts of things. You know? And they do crazy things because of that fear. I mean, incredible things that they are totally insane and ridiculous. And how do you overcome that fear? Where? In which? Is in the head? No, it's not in the head. It's in your heart. How do you eliminate a fear that you don't like? Well, you can analyze the fear and try to psychoanalyze it. That will certainly drive you crazy. The Sufis have a much better solution. Fill your heart with love of Allah, and there will be no love for anything else. Lift your heart with fear of Allah, and there will be no fear, no space in your heart for anything else. This is where you start. This is where you end. This is where you start. You start by filling yourself with fear of Him, so much so that there's no space in it. You think, I'm sorry. I mean, I wish I could be scared of death, but I don't have any space for it. I don't know what to do with it. But I'm sorry. I mean, try with somebody else, not me. I don't know where to put it, because He is everything to you. And that is where you start. And then you carry on. And notice is carrying on that. Understanding this love and fear relationship, this hope and fear. Hope, fear, hope, fear, hope, fear. Now there is a balance. And the balance is in fear of Allah. And fear of Allah is, you are not good enough. You are not good enough. And you come back to Him and you say, I'm sorry, I'm not good enough, but I will become better. And with that feeling you can grow. So you have the hope that Allah is generous to you, and that without Him, if we were to be judged by His eyes, none of us will stand before Him. But He is merciful, and He said, you come to me, move a little bit and I will give you a lot. One step in my direction and it will be like 10. I will walk 10 steps with you. And that's His generosity and this is His hope, but don't be blind with this hope as if that is a blank check. It's not. You have to earn it. And this is the time we have to earn it. And this is not something that you can pass on to your children by telling them. But you have to fear Allah, because you tell them that and they can repeat that. But they haven't learned it yet. But keeping good company. Keeping good company. Make sure the company for yourself. What is a cure for you is a cure for everybody else. So that you have the company of people who can hear that. For example, this man is a good company. I will keep his company. If I have no reason, I will keep his company. To hear from him, it will be valuable to me. To look at him is valuable. Because there are not too many. People travel for commerce, they travel to get married, they travel but people travel fi sabilillah. The way he's done it, he's left everything, the comfort of things. My goodness. And people will dream to have his passport and his condition. And he doesn't care, he doesn't care an inch, and I know really nothing. And he's coming here, he's absolutely, totally, please. He's acquiring knowledge. He could have settled down and have said, I've done enough, I've done more than anybody. He could have pat himself in the shoulders and said, my goodness, there's nobody like me in the whole Basque country. I've done a tremendous job. Historically, my achievement is unsurpassed. Now he said, this is not enough. This is not enough. I want more. It's action. And if we want to teach other people taqwa, you cannot talk about it because it's not words. But it's action. It's your doing. This week, which is coming, Omar Rasululllah is taking us to a place where something extraordinary is going to happen. And there is many journeys, but the journey of Omar Rasululllah this way, my goodness me, that is a journey. He's coming back to something he left, but this time like a giant. And what is going to happen that this weekend coming is going to be of significance, not only for him and the people internated, but for the whole of Nusantara. Because a word is going to be said that has not been heard before. And that's a word that the first Sultan of Nusantara has introduced the Dinner and the Dirham. Not a politician, but a Sultan who has minted the gold dinar with the purpose of serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and collect zakat. The things that they would seem unrelated, but they are connected in the unseen. By his word and his himmah will be cured. And there will be things that are in his heart and he says, but I cannot do that and I want that, Allah. And it will be cured. And he tried to cure it himself and he couldn't. And now he's serving Allah and he will cure it. And that is the greatest story of this. Serve Allah. Serve Allah. For He is the most generous. And He has power over everything. The things that you find yourself helpless to do, He has power over it. But serve Him. Concern yourself with Him. Don't concern yourself with yourself. Let Him that affair to Him. For we are helpless to help ourselves. But He is the most capable. So appeal to Him, who is the King of it, while we are only the slaves. Go to Him and say, I am in your hands. I belong to you. I serve you. Because that is the condition. And then He will look after you. This is the contract. A contract that you already wrote and sealed before you were born. You are nothing but remembering that very moment. He is your Lord. Indeed, He is your Lord. And we come back to Him sooner than we think. But for that one brief moment of glory that we will say to the whole world, we follow you. We obey you. This is a piece of paper. This is not our money. This is fraud. And we bring to the people the real thing. And we tell them, this is the way we trade it. Not in Carrefours and Tesco's, but in souks, that they were public institutions. And by our doing, and by our saying, the things will come. Because we don't find the difficulties. There's not a market there, we make the market. We bring it forward. But there's not the people to support us in this. We find the people to support us in this. And there is this paper missing. We get that paper missing or somebody else equivalent to it. Or better. We do. Where others they see difficulty, we see opportunities. Because the victory does not belong to us. Because He's the master of our actions. So we follow Him. We decided to follow Him. Because what we want will never happen. Whether you like it or not. Learn that and put it in your forehead. Stick to it. For frustration only comes from that madness. What Allah wants will certainly happen. Certainly. Therefore, wish what He wants. And don't be a fool. And He's already told us what He wants. Speak with His voice and you will find the power that you don't have on you. Abandon what you think you have of knowledge and take His knowledge. And then you will find the strength.